The FIFA representatives were in the country. Now you know that Kenya has had a problem for long, and then we are trying to sort out that problem. So FIFA representatives came as well to try and sort out this same problem, and met the the FKF officials. Now the Secretary General was there, the Deputy President was there, and later on pictures emerged of the President there as well. Now a little bit of talk about how he was there, why he was there, if he should have been there, is another discussion altogether. But we know that the FIFA representatives were to address the wars. Ken, did they?
Yes, they spent 2 days here, a very strong delegation, I must say, led by no other than the FIFA Director for Member Associations, Gelson Fernandez. He used to play for Manchester City at some point. Now, from their report, from what they gave from their findings, they said that they have seen that there is desire and there is talent in this country. So they are willing to partner the government in growing the sport. They also visited the Kenya Institute of Special Education, where the CAFB training was ongoing. Now, the meeting that they had with the CS, they reiterated the same things. And I think from what I see, from what I had, is they are actually interested in helping Kenya to move forward.
Okay.
Because we need to move forward.
All right. Okay. Kenya was going to move forward anyway, but they needed to help the federation to help the football to move forward. Let's leave it at that for one moment. Mumbo, what do you think? What do you know about what happened?
So my thought is, by the time FIFA is coming to your house, you need to ask yourself questions. Of course, they come when things are good, but when they come when things are bad, yes, they'll come and support you. What more would they be asking? I agree with you. I believe that they trust that there's talent. Kenya is an important country, not just in Africa, but globally. I mean, we're a sporting nation. So there was definitely that need for them to show that, you know, we trust what the government is doing and saying, and, you know, we are here to support that. But then there's definitely questions, you know. So I think the team at FKF need to be honest with themselves and say, what questions would they be asking beyond this point, from a commercial perspective? Okay. Do we have what it takes? From a technical perspective,
the stakeholders, and again I use the word stakeholders very sparingly, because everybody claims to be a stakeholder in football. The stakeholders have actually dubbed this a PR gimmick. They said they didn't do anything. They just came as a matter of PR. Have our problems been sorted out? The
problems are not sorted out overnight.
I've never seen it overnight.
Definitely not sports problems.
Okay.
I mean, there's no sports anything that happens overnight. It takes 8 years to even bring up the World Cup, to, you know, a proper World Cup, or the Olympics or whatever. So if anybody's expecting an overnight,
the expectations, turnaround, let me just probably highlight them. The expectations were that we were going to have a normalization committee that would comprise a delegation from FIFA and probably a local delegation to work towards bringing normalcy to football.
My assumption is that they had to come to the house and find out exactly what's going on, because that decision, you know, it's one thing to see something happening, reading it in the paper, but for them to send a full delegation, I think what they wanted to do was first come and meet.
So it's in the pipeline?
I want to believe that it's in the pipeline.
Okay, great.
I want to look at it from another angle, Bernard. You know, when we got back into the FIFA fold, the CS told us that the only agreement they've made is that the president of FKF should step aside. And Doris Petra, the vice president, was asked to head. Now, when these guys from FIFA came, the FIFA president, I mean the FKF president, was present. What does that mean? Is that to
was
say,
he present in the meeting?
He was
because
present.
I know what I saw. What I saw
meeting
was a picture of him, you know, at the end of it all. So I presume he was also taking pictures with them because he had been part of the process.
He was part of the meeting.
Okay.
Yes, he was part of the meeting. And note that those stakeholders, and yes, I agree, this could be this way or that way. The stakeholders, these guys, the FIFA guys, had promised to meet the stakeholders.
Did they?
But they did not meet any stakeholders.
And the stakeholders, are saying that they're wondering why.
Yeah, why? And
Nick
why are you
Mwendwa
meeting with somebody who we were told, who, according to the stakeholders, that was the impediment Okay? So why are we meeting?
Listen. There's something she wants to say, and it's just in her mouth there. Let's hear it. Yes.
Guys, we have the FIFA Congress coming up in a couple of weeks. So politics plays a very big role in everything.
Okay.
But I trust that they eventually will meet these stakeholders. I am almost 100% certain, because I speak from a different space. But I can tell you, they had to do what they had to do at this point.
You think they came to look for votes?
I don't think so. I'm not going to say that.
I think you're telling us that it's a process to get the country back,
it's a process.
and that
so
this
first,
visit
the first
was part of the
stakeholder
process.
they had to come and meet was who? Was FKF. Understand what's going on in there. And then when, I mean, Kenya is not going anywhere. They'll come back. I want to believe that they will be back.
Right.
And not too long.
We are not in doubt. We are not in doubt about that. The stakeholders.
He doesn't believe me.
No, the stakeholders were only wondering why a person who has stepped aside is in the meeting, and that is
and
it.
I wonder that too.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll all be wondering. We'll wait to hear why he was in the meeting. Let's move on then. So, even though we are having this conversation about who should have been there and who should not have been there, it's already bearing fruit, and one of Kenya's assistant referees has been appointed to officiate at the Women's World Cup. Now, we had the Men's World Cup. Of course, there was no Kenyan referee there. The last time we had a Kenyan referee officiating was when we had Peter